Alright, Andy Aranda with Pure Plumbing here. We're going to show you today how to flush your water heater. So in our water supply, naturally, we have sand, sediment, and even iron in our water. So it tends to build up at the bottom of the tank. This should be done at least once a year. The idea is to get everything at the bottom of the water heater out so you could get a good heat exchange. So what you're going to need here is a pair of channel locks, and you're going to need a hose. As you can see here, we have a gas control valve. This device here controls the gas going into the hot water heater, letting it know when to come on and when to turn off. So we want to identify this black handle right on top here. This black handle has on, off, and pilot mode. What we're going to want to do is turn that knob until it reads pilot. What this is going to do is it's going to turn the flame off when we're draining the water heater down, preventing any type of detrimental damage. So now that we got the gas shut off, we're going to go to the top of the heater, identify the shutoff valve, and go ahead and turn it a quarter turn in any direction, indicating the stop of flow. So this device here is called a temperature and pressure relief valve. What we want to do is put this valve handle in the upward position, relieving the pressure in the water heater. Alright, so as you can see down here, this is where we're going to drain our water heater from. This valve is a plastic valve. What I'm going to propose to you today is, why not put a full port ball valve at the bottom? As you can see, the opening of this valve is much larger than the opening of the standard valve that comes with the water heater. This will allow you to drain all the debris out of the bottom of the water heater, giving you a more effective water heater flush. As you can see, I've got our ball valve here, and what I proceeded to do is stick a 3/4, 4-inch brass nipple inside there to extend our valve out for flushing. Alright, so before you put this valve in, you're going to want to make sure to put Teflon tape on the threads. We're going to want to airlock the water heater so we don't get a lot of water pressure coming at us when we take this valve off. Alright, so we got our channel locks here. We're going to want to proceed to take this valve off the bottom of the heater. Now just to remind you, it is a tight spot, so we are going to reverse our channel locks back and forth until we get this off. So once we get it in place, we're going to want to twist clockwise until the valve is in a snug, tight position. As you can see here, we have our valve. We're going to want to turn it in the off position, take off the cap we have here on the end, and hook our hose up to the end. Alright, so remember, we're going to have to go back to the temperature and pressure relief valve and put it upward in the on position. After that, we're going to hit our ball valve right at the bottom of the heater and start draining our tank. Alright, so at the end of the driveway, we're going to go ahead and curl up the hose. Curling up the hose is going to show us exactly what comes out of the bottom of the water heater. And as you can see here, we've got a lot of sediment starting to come out. So now that we've completely drained our water heater, we're going to go ahead and turn the water back on. And what we're doing here is we're power flushing all the debris on the bottom of the water heater out. Alright, so proceed to do this for about a minute until you get most of that debris out and that water starts to look clear again. So if you're flushing your water heater and you see an orange tint to the water, it could mean that your water heater has already started to fail. To prevent your water heater from failing, you could change the anode rod every 3 years or as it starts to break down. A good indicator that your anode rod has failed is you start to see the end of the rod. On some anode rods, it happens toward the top. This is very dangerous because if that anode rod drops to the bottom of your tank, it could mean an accelerated process of your water heater failing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and shut off the water here at the drain down valve. We're going to want to disconnect our hose and put our cap right back on there. We're going to want to go ahead and leave this temperature and pressure relief valve in the open position to allow the air to escape the tank as the tank's being filled. By doing this, you're going to allow the air to escape the tank before entering into your home. If you fail to do this, you're going to have to go to every fixture in the home to relieve the pressure. Now that we've flushed your water heater, we're gonna go to the control valve and move that little button from pilot to on. All right, so your water heater is gonna take about 45 minutes to an hour to heat back up, so make sure to plan accordingly. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any trouble flushing your hot water heater, please do give us a call. And if you'd like to see more DIY videos, go to our website today. This is Andy Aranda with Pure Plumbing. Thank you for watching.